Hello, welcome back to Let's Map Amnesia. I'm going to be creating a different map now than the one I made last time. Um, this is going to be a Castlebase, and I kind of had an idea in my head of what this scene could possibly be. Kind of like a submerged chamber. I'm going to try to use water in this to try to create a more dynamic map, something a little bit more complicated than what I'm used to, and something that I'm not too familiar with making, so this ought to be an adventure. Now I'm going to do something differently, and usually I just map the outside, the outline of the wall, and create the room like that, but this one I want to focus on getting everything around a statue. Now this statue is actually from Justine, and you've probably seen it if you've actually completed that expansion, where it's basically an angel statue, and it's actually a really nice asset, and it's something that I like to focus on. I want to focus on. It's pretty much the centerpiece of the room. So this is the asset. It looks really nice, and it's going to serve as the kind of center. So every time the player moves around here, this is what they're moving around. Okay. I'm just trying to think right now. Alright, let's just create like the platform that this is standing on. And I think I'm going to make that manually. So let's make a plane. And this is a nice floor. Okay. Now the measurements are going to be a little precise here. It's going to be square in the middle. It's going to be a small platform, and it's going to be... There we go. So that's pretty much one wall length. So this is... I'm going to enlarge this statue by 2. So that's very big. Just for comparison, I'll place an enemy. Let's see how long it takes. There we go. I'm going to put a grunt by comparison. As you can see, the statue is very tall. Actually, maybe too tall. Let's shrink that down a bit. There we go. That's fine by me. That seems to be a fair height. Okay, so now that we have the platform here, I'm going to be checking out the cistern base asset group, because this is actually a really nice asset base, or castle base at least. It works well. I mean, it's designed to. It's a little imprecise, so I'm gonna have to change it. But let's see how this looks. I'm just experimenting here. This is nothing I've ever done before. Let's create the corners. Let's create a long. Yeah. This is out of place. Let's place that. Okay. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to move the plane and the statue up just a bit. And then we have our little platform here. Now, I think you can see very clearly that when I'm moving this, the textures are overlapping. There's a very simple fix for this, something I mentioned in my previous videos, but we're just going to move it up by 0.001. I don't think that'll be enough, which is very weird. What's overlapping? Oh, this still overlaps. Very unusual. Maybe let's not do the corners. Let's move the actual pieces. Oh, wow. These assets don't like going together. And I think it's because these are actually misplaced. Alright. Alright. Yeah, these were actually misaligned, which is why they were overlapping. That is much better now. Now there's probably very little overlap. So let's fix that. Whoa. Okay. I don't see any more overlap at all. So I think we're good with that. Okay. This is a nice, respectable looking platform. Pretty big, actually. If you think about it in game terms. I'll put a wall down for comparison. And I'm going to be moving a lot through Castlebase and Cistern-Base this time. Yes, this is the height of 3/4 of a wall. That's how tall this is. So this is pretty big. And I'll be modifying this with different pieces as I see fit. But I don't have to worry about that right now. Actually, I believe there's a staircase. And that would actually be really useful. Where is the staircase? There we go. Okay. We actually have to use this asset. There we go. That looks really nice, actually. As you can see, the water is kind of predetermined. It's going to go there. But I'm not going to worry about placing water right now. My only concern is getting the basic layout of the room. So that's how I imagine this chamber is centered by. And this is going to be the highlight of the room. So let's continue. Well, I have to think now about what this room is about. Maybe like a chamber, a sacrifice chamber. No, kind of like a religious thing. So what could we have here? Well, I guess we can have catwalks on the side here that the player could walk through. So why don't we duplicate the staircase? Move him over. And let's see, what am I? Okay. Intersection long. Okay. I think we're just gonna have end pieces here, because I don't want to use only the Cistern-Base assets. I'm just going to extend this texture here, like this, and this will serve as the primary. So these like cistern things will be a border to the Castlebase sections. So let's not use ends. Let's actually go long, because this is going to be a catwalk of some sorts. So this is going to extend out one more. So this is that. Okay. And then I'm going to use an intersection piece. And now I guess the entrance to the chamber is over here. So where this ends. Okay. Now I have a better idea. This is going to be a lot of trial and error for me as I see what works and what doesn't. So we're going to end here. And we're going to move this guy. So this is really long. This is 5 wall lengths. 7 if you count the extensions. So this is a very large chamber. Okay. Now, this Castlebase transition will help me out a lot, actually. These kind of are the walls, the bottom walls of the chamber. This is very tricky. I welcome the challenge. .5. Okay. So this is 1 in height. What is this? 3 in height. So it's 3 units in height. I'm pretty much learning this for the first time. This is pure experimentation. Weird. Maybe it's not 3. But it's not 4. It's 4 in height. I'm an idiot. I don't know what the hell I'm thinking. That would make more sense. Basically, this is the height of a normal wall, just lowered. And for some reason I thought it was unique in some aspects. It's not. Okay. Well, we know this has to get pushed back now. Something like that. And I can move the bottom wall. And do that. And then I guess we could, there we go, 7 wall lengths. It's consistent with what I thought it was. Okay. Well, I'm going to be doing a lot of research on how to make this look even better. And that involves looking at different assets, or looking at how other people mapped it, but that's pretty ugly right now. And I think it could be a lot better. Okay. We don't need that. We do need a staircase to go here. So let's see what we have. What staircase assets we have available to us. No harm in trying. Well, this staircase will work because it doesn't actually cause any clipping issues. Okay. And then we could use a welder. And that's at height 0. Well, it could probably use some work. But that is what it looks like now. Could this guy possibly be extended to go completely on the wall? Doesn't seem to want to match up. So it's probably better the way I had it before. I could probably do something like that. There we go. That looks much better. I just stretched it out. It's nice to be able to manipulate objects like that. Okay. Well, I'm having that clipping issue again. Very tricky to work with. Okay. That looks pretty nice. Now we can continue on. -2, am I correct? There we go. So now we're going to create the catwalks. So let's just work on one first. And the next ones can come later. Now this is a really interesting set because they have bridges. So we don't just have to have a flat platform, we can actually create bridges and allow the player to go underneath them. It looks like this. It's very nice looking, very unique set. Looks better this way. Yes. I don't think it really matters. That's something that wouldn't be noticed. Am I mumbling? It feels like I am. But, that's always a possibility. Alright. If we're gonna have platforms over here, so let's create a platform long. Alright. Actually, the idea behind this is that I'm just going to create another one of these sections where we tile it up in the middle, like this. And we could do cool stuff. We can place like fountains, or maybe I can have like an indoor garden here in the middle here. I could put anything I want. Right now I'm just going to put tiles, and maybe I'll change it at some point. But oh, that's just a weird bug with this editor, that I can't rotate 180 if I have two objects selected, and I guess it has to do with the origin of their rotation. That's my only guess. No, I want this to be square, so this has to be maybe another long length. No, short length. That looks square to me. Whoa. I'm on 20 minutes already, so I'm going to be wrapping this up soon. I might be doing some mapping without recording. It's a little easier to do things when you're not talking the whole time. So that's what I'm probably going to do. And that'll make it a little easier for me to focus. And then I'll show you the important steps, like lighting and detailing and all the fun stuff. But it's important that you get the basics. Alright, let's duplicate this guy over here. And let's create a plane over here. Oh, this is shouldn't be compounded anymore. Okay. So this is really cool, actually. I like this. This is coming up better than I thought it would come out. How do I complete this little chamber? Because I don't want to duplicate it on both sides. That's lazy. Well, I'm not too sure actually what to put there. So why don't we continue shaping the walls, which is turning out to be harder than I thought too. Alright. Alright, there we go. It's like rotating in reverse when I have two objects selected, and I'm not exactly sure why. That looks like it's going to be a problem going past that, so I'm not going to touch that. Okay. And this should be pretty quick as well. Yeah, it's probably because it's wrong. Nope, it looks right. Never mind. I'll fix it up at some point. Jesus. Alright. So I have a pretty boring wall layout right now. Castlebase is tricky with the ceilings. Very tricky, actually. But I already know for a fact that I'm looking at having pillars here. So we have these ceiling tiles here. Those are really nice. We're going to move those. We're going to actually place those first. And the reason why is it actually will help me place the pillars that go underneath them. Let's use the red line. There's going to be 4 pillars. So 4 arches. And now I can place pillars underneath them. That'll look really nice. But I do not know how tall they actually are. Oh, it looks like they are 10 height. So what we're gonna do is move these guys down to something sensible. And it's also why I didn't want to make the statue too high, because I didn't want it to clip through the ceiling. Okay. Now that looks a lot better already. And I can already see that this will work well with the ceiling, actually. Because 25 minutes, alright, so I'm doing well. If I do this, no, if I go to 6 and I place the ceiling, it should match up. Yep, matches up pretty perfectly, actually. So my heights are good. So these pillars are set in stone now. Like, I'm not going to touch these again. And I guess I can start working on planing the bottom. So this down here starts at -2. So let's create a floor. Alright. Let's start. Let me do this in sections. So this section right here, that's already complete. Okay, I got it right the first time. I don't understand. Okay. And I'm not going to tile everything. I'm just going to tile the parts that I've completed. And then when I'm finished making the rest of this, I will finish it. I'm actually going to align to world coordinates so that I don't have to keep messing around with it. You'll see what that does when I start creating planes that aren't relative to each other. For example, if I create a plane right here and I move it, you'll see how the texture is all messed up. But if I align it to world coordinates, then it'll just snap in place, and I don't have to worry about that. It really helps. Alright, so the inner texture is complete. I mean, not complete, it's just this initial area is complete. And I like this platform a lot, actually. I don't really know of any tweaking I could do. I can lower it a little like that. I can actually, and I think what I'm gonna do is create a plane here. And if I go into, where do I go? I go into textures, water. So I can actually create some water here now. Castlebase, sewer, water bucket, wine. I think I'm just going to go with Castlebase fountain. And I'm going to turn off collision on it. And it's just a texture. I put water in the fountain. It's just a texture though. It doesn't actually splash or anything. Not yet. We'll add that later. But I think that's cool. And I think I should actually change this texture into something that's... What could I change it to? I think I'm gonna change it to Murky Castlebase. No, that won't do it. Where is that? See, I don't want this tiling at all. Oh, that's cool. So I kind of made like an emblem in there. Do I have a lighter, what's that? A reactor water? Ew. There's all different types of water textures you can use. That's not what I'm looking for. Let's just go back to the Castlebase water. And maybe... I don't really think that changes much, actually. Yeah, you won't notice a difference with that. 0.5 is good. Okay. So that's really cool, actually. That's a good starting point for this map. And as I said before, I could change this texture to something like... I can change this to like dirt, and I could have like flowers growing here or something, like an indoor garden. And that's one of the ideas that I'm having, but I'm not going to come to that yet. I need to fix the issue with the walls before I continue with anything. And the issue I'm having is, if you see over here, it's 4 units here, so that's 1. And then it's 3 units over here. So somewhere something got misaligned, or just the way I did it was wrong, and I need to fix it, and that's annoying. But I think this is a good stopping point for this video. So I'm actually starting to get the general layout of this room, and it's looking a lot nicer than I thought it would look, and the statue is the focus of it, and it's coming out nicely. So let's end the video here, and in part 2 I'll continue mapping this out. Thank you for watching.